Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual, you. Today, I would like to speak about devotion, wisdom, or discernment, insight, action, and, well, presence, awareness. So, these four I would consider pillars of inner spiritual life. To be able to cultivate each and every one of them, you are cultivating the whole human being. From devotion, the feeling of reverence, awe, childlike awe, and open wide-eyedness, wisdom and discernment, being capable of discerning what is healthy and moral and good for our soul, action, that also is highly important, for we have a responsibility for ourselves and how we present ourselves to others, to the world, to our friends, to our close ones, even to those that are not as close. And presence, awareness, the whole medium as to where we can become awake to all of these faculties. These are very, very old threads and very old teachings, and they can even be named Bhakti, Jnana, Raja, and Karma Yoga, just as to use very known but specific examples. These four are all needed as to make ourselves whole. Of course, we are inclined towards one of these fours, of course. Either it is through knowledge and insight, or it is through actions and acting out of goodness, or if it is through presence and allowing for the human being to exist in one's awakeness, or if it is in open devotion to something greater than us. These four are so immeasurably important in a healthy soul spiritual development, because it allows for ourselves to not end up very narcissistic in our tendencies. It allows ourselves to give oneself over to the growing as a human being, a certain trust, a certain stability and strength in where we do live as a human being. So either we choose to focus on devotion and having the overwhelming, almost tear-inducing love and devotion for the world, for another, for God, for you name it, or if it is insights as to know who, what, and the qualities of that devotion, if it is in action as to devote oneself to pleasing that said higher world, or if it is in awakeness, awareness as to allow for the higher worlds to show themselves in the now. So I personally have a high affinity to trying to find and trying to stay strong with the healthy and loving aspects of things. So I'm very devotional in my being, but I do not stop there in blind devotion, in blind faith. It's enhancing and strengthening this faith with knowledge. Through this knowledge, we start to do actions because we know why we do these actions. And in these actions, devotion and knowledge, we are awake, aware, and awaiting in a present state of being, of devotion. It is devotional, it is reverent, it is a feeling that we just know that a higher wisdom and intelligence and world is guiding us and prompting us and pushing us in certain directions without being forceful, without forcing us, without making us lose our freedom. But at the same time, once you have felt, known, and experienced this, you gladly follow those promptings because you know that they are not going to lead you astray. At least when you have experimented and explored a little bit, you come to know that these forces unless we are using only us and us alone to try to guide ourselves without any form of moral inclinations or such, it is more often than not leading us towards learning, growth, development. Be it a little bit painful now and then, being a little bit uncomfortable now and then, it still is for the best and for the good of you, of me, of others. So how you present yourself in the world, how you know the world, how you are awake in the world, and how you devote yourself to the world. And when I say the world, I mean also you yourself. You are included in that. You don't exclude yourself ever. You are just as much part of it as anyone else. And that is what becomes the wholeness. We stop excluding the observer, the you, and you start participating and becoming active within the world, grasping the hand, dancing with life. And they are more than happy to meet us once we have removed the fog and all of our biases and all of our preferences in the end, and come to understand through experience, through study, through practice, through awakeness over a long period of time. That is when you start to see the patterns. If we are only to try to see the immediate quote-unquote proof of anything or such, it will elude you. It is not meant to be grasped. Like, I will only give you devotion or love if you can prove to me. No, the higher worlds don't operate that way. They operate in trust. They operate in, when the time is right, they will show as to why. But you have to have that inclination first. First you have to be open to that, and then they show you as to quote-unquote reward your devotion. You start somewhere in knowing that you do not have enough information yet. But then you get more and more information, and it snowball effects. And it continuously, again and again and again, show you why. And you can only truly speak confidently about it when you have experienced it. But once you have experienced it, you are at the threshold, you know? So, it really is about holding the courage as to, even if the world ridicules you for being loving, for being awake, for having certain values that you do not compromise on, and so on, but at the same time not becoming tyrannical and dogmatic. It's a softness. It's a living, metamorphic, ever feeling, ever present type of human. It's kind of, as we said, in the spiritual world, it's difficult to grasp it with words, but you can definitely pick up the feeling. I thoroughly believe that. Of course, unless you are already having inclination and maybe an intention of disagreeing with me or not trying to find these things. It's all about our openness to feel and to see, await, find out for yourself. And I say, don't take my word for anything. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself, but in goodwill and openness. And also at the same time holding a strong, healthy discernment as to not be led astray by those that wish you harm, or those that wish you to operate in their own egotistical opinions and such. We are not perfect. We have flaws, we have shadow sides. But once we become aware of them, once we become aware of something we do not agree with ourselves on, we wish to do something about it. That is the most healthy impulse we can have. And it's part of the devotion, it's part of the knowledge, it's part of the action. Thinking about it is part of everything. If we exclude one of these four, we are becoming sect-like. If we include every one of them, we become whole, holy, whole, wholeness, holistic. It's all about taking all of our manifold aspects and uniting them in a marvelous syncretic whole. As the human beings we are, we have come far through many eras, through many epochs, and we have learned certain aspects then, certain aspects there, certain aspects there, and now we have all of those past aspects we have gone through into this position today. So we have a whole lot of knowledge from the past that we can today find out where are we now. It's kind of guideposts, it's hints and subtle directions we are moving towards. Morality, love, compassion, understanding, empathy, all of these are 100% part of it. We can deny it or we can embrace it. It's all in our bias in the end. But are you willing to take that step, or are you placating? Are you trying to just do what everyone wants you to do, or are you inclined to hold yourself to morality that you have set for yourself? It requires courage. It requires to be ridiculed a little. Goody two shoes, whatever. Who cares? In the end, at least you, on your deathbed, can think to yourself that at least I stood by that, and you won't have any regrets for it. And that is just one aspect of the whole. We are not going to focus specifically on that area alone, because guilt is never the entrance to the spiritual world. It always will be love, compassion, warmth. So, that is what I will leave you with today. May Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, Ancient Masters of all, bless, protect, guide, love you on your amazing, beautiful, unique path of the whole. And may you be healing, inspirational, and loving to the world, and be provided for with all that you need to survive, live, and thrive. And may you be safe and sound. Love you so much. See you, my beautiful sibling. Goodbye. Love you.